If I didn't, I greet you, and then as I leave, I extend the greeting again of peace. As I bring up brother student Mr. Herman Muhammad, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sir. Y'all get that brother a hand, man.
Let's keep it going for Brother Ashton. All right. Let us first start by saying, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. As students of religion, as human beings on this wonderful planet that we call Earth, we thank Allah, God, for all of his prophets, all of his messengers, all of the scriptures that they brought. So we thank Allah for Abraham and Moses and the Israelite prophets and the divine revelation of the Torah, the Old Testament. We thank Allah for Jesus and his apostles and the divine revelation of the Injil, the Gospel, the New Testament. We thank Allah for Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah of 1400 years ago and the divine revelation of the Holy Quran Sharif. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon each and every one of these worthy servants. But as students of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we are forever thankful to Allah for his divine intervention in our affairs. And when I say our affairs, I'm saying, like Brother Ashton said earlier, he intervened in the affairs of the so-called American Negro. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All praise is due to Allah. He came in the divine person of Master Fard Muhammad, the great Mahdi of the Muslims and the great Masih or Al-Masih of the Christians and the Jews. We thank him for coming 9,000 miles from the holy city to seek and to save a people that were lost. And upon his coming, finding one from amongst us that he raised from the dead. A Georgia-born black man who only went to the 3rd or the 4th grade of school, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
This is good news. This is good news. And if you're hearing this for the first time, man, you should be ecstatic. Because God did come and he did raise a messenger from amongst us. And we thank both of them for leaving one in our midst as a reminder, a divine reminder. Not that God had came and we missed him, but that God is present and in the world. And that one I speak of, I am attempting, I'm doing my best to represent to you today, and that one is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
That's right.
And in their names, we greet you in the greeting words of peace and paradise. We say it in the Arabic language, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sir.
Which simply means peace be unto you. And I believe that we can all agree that in this hour, we need some peace.
Yes,
is that right?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Now, this morning, before we get into it, we just want to make sure that we are plain and that we state our intention. And of course, our intention is never to make mockery, nor is it to entertain. But our intention really is to educate, to enlighten, to edify, and to inspire. Our intention is to give you something of value that you can use. Right?
Yes, sir.
That's what we intend on doing. this isn't an exercise in vanity. We want you, whenever you come to Muhammad's mosque or a Nation of Islam study group, to always get some information that will help you in your life.
Yes, sir.
Don't go to places of spirituality where you don't learn anything.
Yes, sir.
If you go into a spot and they're singing and they shouting and they falling out, but at the end of the day you didn't learn nothing, don't go there no more.
Yes, sir.
You're wasting your time.
Yes, sir. Good teaching.
A church or a mosque is supposed to make you better. Huh?
Yes, sir.
So keep that in mind. So if we do that, if we fail to do that, and I stumble over my words and I'm just saying stuff that don't make sense, then all that blame belongs to me. But if we help you in the smallest bit, if you learn anything, all praise belongs to Allah.
Yes,
all
sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
So our subject is taken out of the latest Final Call newspaper. The subject is called Carnage, Confusion, and the Unraveling. Right?
Wow.
So we got carnage and confusion. And the story deals with the hearings, the congressional hearings on the January 6th attempt to overthrow the government. Let's just call it what it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what it is. That's what it was.
Insurrection.
And yeah, man, a straight up rebellion.
Treason.
Facts.
All of that.
Facts, man.
But we want to deal specifically with carnage, confusion, and the unraveling. Look, the minister's article in his paper is entitled "The Unraveling of a Great Nation."
Yes, sir.
And we're gonna get into that. But it's interesting because we're right on the heels of a reversal of Roe versus Wade.
Yes, sir.
That's right,
Yes,
that's
sir.
right.
Yes, sir.
We're right on the heels of carnage that we saw in Uvalde, that we saw in, we already forgot about Buffalo.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We're seeing all sorts of madness. And when you open the paper, not that the Nation of Islam wants to bring you all the bad news. We want to bring you the good news.
Yes, sir.
However, when you open the paper, you hear about flooding in Yellowstone, right?
Yes,
you
sir.
you hear about an uptick, like Brother Ashton was saying, in COVID. You know what I'm saying? The news ain't good.
No, sir. No, sir. Not at all. Up to date, though.
Oh, it's mad up today. But we're talking about carnage, confusion, and the unraveling of a great nation.
Right.
Now, let's clear some words, because a lot of times we might not know what it is that we're talking about.
Facts.
And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that we don't deal with branch knowledge in the Nation of Islam. We always go to the root.
Go ahead, brother. Yes,
So
sir.
if we want to tell you and teach you about something, we want to teach you about that something. Because oftentimes, people just say stuff. But most times, they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, facts. Facts.
They say stuff and they cause confusion.
Yes, sir.
So the first word is carnage, right? Carnage, the definition of carnage is the slaughter of a great number of people, as in battle, butchery, massacre, fighting or other violence, brutal carnage on the football field.
Wow.
Great damage, utter defeat or chaos.
Wow.
The etymology, listen to this, of the words carnage comes from, it's a French word, carnage or carnage, from the Italian carnaggio, from the medieval Latin carnaticum, or from the Latin caro or carn, which means flesh.
Wow.
Flesh. So when we talk about carnage, we're talking about really, when you go to the root of the word, you're talking about the slaughtering of animals.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh man, that's important. Because we live in what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad called us the wilderness of North America.
Go ahead, sir.
And in the wilderness, you have what? You have wild beasts.
Yes, sir. Come on.
And so when we kill one another, like the little demon did in Uvalde, or the little demon did in Buffalo, that's an animal. Just killing for no reason. Is that right?
That's right.
Confusion, because the carnage, confusion, and the unraveling. Confusion is the lack of understanding.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Uncertainty, the state of being bewildered. I like this one. The state of being bewildered or unclear in one's mind about something. Confusion.
Unclear.
Right?
Yeah.
The etymology of confusion comes from the Latin confundere, which means to mingle together or to mix together.
Yeah, falsehood.
Confusion.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I'm gonna give you an example, and we were talking about this last week. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Last week, we celebrated Father's Day. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Last week, we also celebrated nationally for the first time Juneteenth. Black people free. Did y'all know that?
Yeah.
we free. It's official. Last week and all month, we've been celebrating LGBTQ HIJK element OP month.
LOL 2.
So you got
3.
Men's Health Month.
and what else we
Men's
got?
Health Month.
Oh, it's Men's Health Month as
Sure, I
well.
didn't know that.
Y'all didn't know. It's Men's Health Month as well.
Get my health right.
But look, they mingle all of this together.
Yes, facts.
So when we went downtown or to the 5 Points to celebrate us being free, you got a bunch of transgenders and homosexuals running around.
Make it look some type of
Transform.
way.
You know what I mean? And you know, we don't know what to celebrate. Some people more proud to be gay than they are to be black.
Facts. Facts. Facts.
Yes, sir.
They more proud to be transgender than they are to be to celebrate their freedom, right?
Yes,
Or they so-called freedom that Joe Biden said we were free this June 19th. So it was.
You also want to appreciate.
It's so confusing, brother Ansar.
Yes, sir. Confusion.
It's confusing.
Yes,
We
sir.
have chaos in our minds. We're bewildered,
Facts.
right?
Yes, sir.
And it's so many, man.
Be
Oh my goodness.
Be willing. Wow.
Bewildered.
I like
Unclear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Talk about being clear, brother. Yes, sir.
We're so confused.
Yes, sir.
We're so confused about Roe versus Wade. Confused.
Leave that to the. I ain't know.
Now we do not have the right federally to have an abortion. Or, and some might say, to have control over women's bodies, right?
Yes, sir.
Confused. And that confused me. My wife and I were having a conversation like, what does that mean? The Supreme Court reversed the decision? So, and what it basically means is that now it's in the hands of the states,
Yes, sir.
wherever you live.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But the bottom line is It's all a distraction. It's all part of the confusion, because if you don't want to have a baby, guess what? You're not going to have a baby.
No.
You're going to find a way to get rid of that baby.
Facts.
Right?
That is true.
So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that, you know, in terms of us being pro-life or pro-choice in the Nation of Islam, yeah, man, we pro-life, 100%.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
100,000%.
Yes, sir.
But we also pro-choice. We're also pro-choice. Yeah, we want to, man, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us, man, have as many black babies as you possibly can.
Facts.
Fill that house up. Fill them schools up.
That's what Navy B for.
You know what I'm saying? If your wife get pregnant, man, you didn't make her pregnant. She didn't make herself pregnant. Allah caused that.
Yes, sir.
Think about that now. Allah is the ultimate cause of life and death.
Yeah. Yes, sir. That's the
So you had fun. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That was a good 5 minutes. Maybe, right? But Allah determined that.
Yes, sir.
You didn't determine that. So when when we're blessed to have life, new life come into our families, man, we say all praise is due to Allah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But we also are pro-choice. And we're not saying you should choose to go and find you a doctor to get an abortion. No. What we're saying, brothers, is that you should choose carefully
Facts.
who you put your seed into.
Facts.
Sisters, you should choose carefully who you open your knees to.
Come on. Facts.
Make a better choice to where you don't have to decide if you want to have an abortion. And hell, in terms of black people, man, talking about family planning, man, we ain't never planned no family. It's just like, oh, I missed. I missed my time of month. Like, oh, okay, time to get it together, right?
Yes, sir.
So we want to choose carefully who we choose for a mate. That's what we want to choose.
That's the choice.
That is the choice. Now, the unraveling. To unravel means,
Fall apart.
man, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said this at his historic 2020 Savior's Day lecture. He said, unraveling is to undo, twisted, knitted, or woven threads. To unravel is to investigate and solve or explain something complicated or puzzling.
America.
I'm gonna say that again. To unravel is to undo twisted, knitted, or woven threads. To investigate and solve or explain something complicated or puzzling. So we, again, because there's so much carnage going on, because there's so much confusion jumping off, right?
Yes, sir.
Many of us are puzzled, we're bewildered, we're confused. We need to understand what is going on. We're at a loss because of everything that's happening in America. But in the Nation of Islam, we are not confused at all.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad,
Yes, sir.
told us a long time ago that all this stuff was going to happen. Is that right?
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
Yes, sir.
He predicted the fall of America. Now, this is a book that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote and was published in 1973.
Come on.
Right.
1973.
Yes, sir.
But in it, he was explaining everything that you see right now.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Hey man, I gotta tell you.
America.
I gotta tell you. It is so profound. I mean, it's unbelievable, man. It reads like a newspaper.
Facts. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he talked about, again, the unraveling of a great nation. He talked about, like we said, the undoing of twisted or knitted or woven threads, or investigating and solving or explaining something complicated or puzzling with regards to a nation. Right? So all of the things that are happening in America right now, the minister was explaining that it was going to happen. Mm-hmm. Now understand, when he said this, right?
Yes, sir.
It was before January 6, 2021, when the insurrection happened. It was before George Floyd.
Wow.
And the riots and the protests that happened after George Floyd was murdered.
Right.
So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was pointing to this unraveling before it even happened.
Facts.
And he was doing that based upon what he had learned from his teacher, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And it is not because, you know, he's a seer or he has some mystical powers or anything of that nature, some magical, far out of space type thing going on, but it is because he is the messenger of God in our midst.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
It is because he is the Messiah in our midst.
Mm-hmm.
It is because he is anointed for this particular time. Are y'all listening?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So the minister, all praise belongs to Allah, he went into the Quran and he cited an ayat in the Quran that I had never seen before. Talking about this unraveling.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to get into that. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
All praises due to Allah. So in the Holy Quran,
Be not like her. Yes, sir.
Surah 16:92, it says, "And be not like her, who unravels her yarn, disintegrated it into pieces after she has spun it strongly. You make your oaths to be means of deceit between you, because one nation is more numerous than another nation. Allah only tries you by this, and he will certainly make clear to you on the day of resurrection wherein you differ." Now this is so powerful, right?
Yes, sir.
But it needs a little bit of explanation. Just a little bit of explanation. And you'll be able to see exactly what we're talking about. Now, so we're talking about the fall of America,
Yes,
right?
yes, sir.
We're talking about the unraveling of a great nation.
Amen.
So, and be not like her who unravels her yarn.
Amen.
Well, her is America.
Yes,
A
sir.
nation. Yeah. Yes, sir.
See, nations are always referred to as her.
Facts.
Is that right?
Facts.
We talked about this on Mother's Day. Our the country that we come from, that's our motherland. Is that right? Or our mother country.
Yes, sir.
The language that we speak, that's our mother language, right? Our mother tongue.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this her is America, who unravels her yarn, disintegrated it into pieces after she has spun it strongly.
So called.
Now America, oh man,
She didn't split it strong enough.
America is arguably the greatest nation on the earth.
Facts. 6,000 years. Yes, sir.
She's the greatest nation, absolutely, Brother Mordecai, that we've seen in the past 6,000 years.
Yes, sir.
She is the fulfillment of ancient Babylon.
Facts. Facts.
She is the fulfillment of ancient Rome.
Yes, sir.
She is the fulfillment of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
She is the fulfillment of ancient Nineveh. Should I go on? The fulfillment of ancient Egypt.
Egypt, yes.
She's all of that.
Yes, sir.
She's the strongest nation that we've seen in the past 16,000 or 6,000 years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Read.
So how did she become that way? She spun her yarn strongly.
Yes, sir. Murder and death.
Oh man, look at how she did this now. Now, she spun it strongly by coming getting you and I.
That's right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Think that over.
Yes, sir. Yes,
She
sir.
came and got millions of black people to build her economy to where, man, it's the envy of all nations.
Yes, sir. Children of Israel.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And with these slaves, on top of that, she spun it by coming with a constitution.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Exclusive.
Listen, that borders on the divine.
Ooh.
Think about this now.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Think about it.
I like that, bro.
The words border on the divine, according to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because she promises what?
Life.
Man, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness,
Yes, sir.
freedom, justice, and equality,
Yes, sir.
liberty and justice for all. Right?
Under God. Yes, sir.
Under God.
Yes, sir.
That language is divine, man.
Divine, brother. Yes,
if
sir.
she fulfilled that, oh my God,
Oh,
America
man.
is the greatest place on earth.
Yes, sir.
If she fulfilled it.
Come on. Yes, sir.
But she spun it so strong to where there's a thing that we have in the world that everybody knows about it, and it's called American exceptionalism. This is a real term. I didn't make this up. American exceptionalism. Which means that that's what allows America to police the entire world.
Yes, sir.
To offer itself as the moral compass
Yes.
of the entire world. That's why America is able to condemn communist China or communist Russia or communist Cuba or communist Venezuela, because there's American exceptionalism, right? Because in America, you're free to come here and do whatever the hell you want to do. Ain't no rules.
Yeah, ain't no.
You can be whatever you want.
Say righteous. Yes, sir.
Think it over now. But that's the yarn that she has spun so strongly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Roe versus Wade is a part of that yarn that was strung so strongly. Because now, you know, you can choose to have a baby or not have a baby. Again, that's your choice no matter what.
Facts.
But federally, the government said, that's what you can do. That's part of the yarn. Part of the yarn is that you have freedom, you have security, you have, again, American exceptionalism. You can go anywhere in the world, and even though the dollar ain't backed by nothing, the people will gladly take it. Because it's backed by the American people, the power of the American people.
power.
But it's not backed by no silver or no gold, or nothing material. It's just backed by the fact that you are America, and the yarn has been spun so strongly.
Go ahead, that's right. I said so back in. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But look what Allah says. But be not like her who unravels her yarn, disintegrating it into pieces. See, what America used to be, it no longer is.
Come on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You've been steadily giving up your freedoms
Yes, sir.
openly
Facts.
for the last 20 to 30 years.
Yes, sir. Facts.
I mean, just straight giving them up.
Facts. Yes, sir.
Before 2000,
Got a snitch in the house.
before the year 2000, you could actually go to the airport and not have to take your shoes off.
That's right.
Now you say, what is that got to do with my freedom?
Patriot Act.
You didn't have to take your belt off.
Yes, sir.
You could just go through, you know what I'm saying? their little security line and get on the plane. You before the 90s, you didn't even have to have your driver's license to get on the airplane.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
That's real talk.
Yes, sir.
People used to travel under presumed names.
That's right.
But slowly, we began to give up our freedom for security.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Think that over now. Because after 9/11, 2001, we began to give up freedoms
Correct.
Patriot Act.
for security.
Yes, sir.
Because the devil
State.
lied and dropped 2 buildings in front of the entire world,
My God.
killing 3,000 people,
My God.
all to convince you and I to give up our freedom. Oh man, I'm telling you, buildings don't fall all by themselves.
No, sir.
Y'all.
No, sir.
You gotta watch these things carefully. And I wish I had the video on here and I'll show you. But buildings don't fall all by themselves. They just don't. And they don't collapse the way that they collapsed in 2001 in New York at the World Trade Center from a plane entering into them. That just does not happen, according to
Yes, sir.
architects and
Facts.
engineers.
Facts.
It does not happen.
Facts.
Right.
Facts.
But it happened so that you and I
Join the war.
would believe the hype and ultimately give up our freedoms.
Yes, sir.
Think that over now. Now, if you don't believe, and I do got the video. I thought I didn't have, but I do got the video. If you don't believe, like if you believe that, because a plane went into building 1 and building 2, right? Y'all remember that?
Yes, sir.
But there was another building called building 7
building God.
that didn't get hit by anything.
Went down right by.
But it went down the same exact way
Yes, sir.
as buildings 1 and 2.
Sure
Oh
did.
man, they just tried this, man. They tried this.
Y'all think I'm lying?
They tried this.
Told you, I didn't think I had the video, but I got the video.
Right, sure. There it is.
2001. I'll never
Like
forget
that.
this,
Sure.
man. I was in school.
And they blamed it on the Muslims.
Yes,
Yeah, they blamed it on the Muslims. So it was dual purpose,
Had a
man.
whole bunch of people.
There it go. Look at that. They'll show it a little bit of fire. This is building 7.
It's so evil, man.
Little fire in there. Who knows? Little fire. Then all of a sudden, it just falls.
Going down.
It just falls.
Just like the other one.
Controlled demolition.
Yes.
Just like the other ones.
No planes here, nothing.
None of that.
That is so There's so much footage.
Yeah, so two went down previous, and then that one went down. Yeah. I mean, but it was dual purpose, right? It was to rob us of our freedoms, right? To give up our freedoms. But it also was to vilify the Muslims.
Facts.
Man.
Facts.
So I mean, that's the type of trickery that the devil been pulling for a long time.
Very long time.
But it's part of,
That's against the NDAA.
let me get back to it. It's part of us, it's part of them disintegrating or unraveling that yarn and disintegrating it into pieces.
Yes, sir. Facts. Their own people, brother.
Because America, remember, is supposed to be built upon freedom.
Yes, sir.
But if you surrender your freedom for so-called security, then they're taking you down a road to where eventually, there it is, brother, they will totally control you.
There you go, Pierre. I am for the vaccine.
You hear what I'm saying? Eventually, thank you, Brother Mordecai. My wife and I were talking about this as well. They can tell you that you have to be vaccinated with an experimental messenger RNA drug, which is really gene therapy and not a vaccine at all.
What the heck you put inside you? Come on.
See, the yarn is being disintegrated into pieces after it's been spun strongly. The majority of people can want something like Roe versus Wade. But if you have a Supreme Court who doesn't want it, who's now so-called a conservative Supreme Court, they can reverse it. And now that which the people wanted, I don't care where you come down on it, but now what the people wanted,
yes, sir. It's what the people want. That's right.
is no longer possible.
Facts.
And it says, you make your oaths by means of deceit.
Go into that.
Between you, because one nation is more numerous than another nation. So America, the concept of American exceptionalism has always been that means of deceit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Always lying.
Because you so-called have more freedoms than another nation. Remember when they was talking about going to war against North Korea? This is George Bush. He had the so-called axis of evil, where he had North Korea and Iran and Iraq and a bunch of other nations,
yes,
right?
Yes, sir.
But he was saying they hate us because they hate our freedoms.
So-called freedom.
Right?
Yes, sir.
But then it says Allah only tries you by this. And he will certainly make clear to you on the day of resurrection wherein you differ. So what's happening right now is it's the day of resurrection.
Go ahead, brother. You better tell him. You better tell him.
It is that day.
Yes, sir.
So now we're seeing the whole country, everything that the country is built upon is being destroyed.
And we being resurrected.
Part of the yarn being spun strongly was the fact that in America, for 200 plus years, you've had a smooth, what they call, transition of power from one president to another.
Yes, sir. From 200 plus years. Yes, sir.
See, other nations around the world, you know, they might call them banana republics or whatnot, because, you know what I'm saying, if they don't like the leadership, they're resurrected. They have a coup.
Yeah, they're right. They're gonna fight.
And they'll take over. You know what I'm saying? If my crew is stronger than your crew, man, I'm coming in and moving you out.
Yeah.
But America has always prided herself on having that smooth transition of power.
That's right.
And all presidents always would respect it, like, okay, I lost. You know what I'm saying? And it may be you didn't lose. Like when we talk about Al Gore and George Bush. Man didn't lose, he won that.
He won that. I'm there witness, man.
But look, George Bush had an ace in the hole.
Come on. Good things.
His brother was the governor of Florida.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So he called up Al Gore and said, look, man, my brother said I won. Because Florida decided the election.
Right.
My brother said, I won. So Gore was like, okay.
I'm your president. Whether you voted for me or not.
But what happened with this disintegrating it into pieces, now you don't have a smooth transition of power.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Now you got this.
Mm.
Because even though Donald Trump clearly lost, clearly, I mean, he got mocked. It wasn't even close.
The Russians didn't vote for him.
It wasn't even close. He got mocked. But he's one of them dudes like, man, like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said before he was even elected. The Messiah said, if you elect Donald Trump, he'll take the country to hell in a rocket ship.
That's what he said. That's right. Rocket ship. Yes, sir.
Then, while he was presiding over the country, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, that man don't want to be president, he want to be king.
That's right.
That's a powerful statement.
Come on.
That is a powerful statement.
That's what he said.
And when a king is taken off the throne, that's what happened.
Yes, sir. Facts. Facts.
I'm going to get my crew. We didn't lose.
No, we
The election was rigged.
Come on.
All I need, give me 11,000 more votes.
That was a good one there.
But look, all of this is in that scripture.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now
You make your oaths.
Come on.
your smooth transition of government is disintegrating.
Yes, sir.
Your security or your freedoms are disintegrating.
Yes, sir.
Your ability to choose what it is that you put in your body with regard to the vaccination
Yes, sir.
is disintegrating. Because now if you don't get the vaccine, certain spaces, man, you can't have this job.
Yup.
Can't come to this country.
Yup.
Can't go there. Can't do this. Can't do that. Can't go to school. This is all the stuff that they were saying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now your freedoms are disintegrating into pieces.
Other stuff.
And it's over. America is over. America is unraveling her yarn by destroying and going back on all the principles that she is allegedly built upon.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Allegedly.
And then, what does your future look like?
Lord have mercy.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Which one will you choose? Because that one, even though he's not president, he's still running the Republican Party.
Yeah, yes, sir. He's the leader of the Republican Party.
Which also shows the fact that at its core,
Racism.
white people in America are racist.
Facts. At their core, the beginning.
At their core.
Infancy.
Right, come on, come on.
Yes, sir.
I was trying to think about it now.
Go ahead.
The man caused the coup, an insurrection. Don't like black people, clearly.
Facts.
Always made it known. Yet he still has control over the Republican Party.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The leader of the Republican
They just
Party.
went down to the Capitol with the mask.
That's exactly right. Then you got old Sleepy Joe over here.
Oh my God.
Who we all put our, well, I won't say we all.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I can't say that, right?
Don't say that. You can't say that.
Dixie crack. Dixie crack.
But the people were so fed up with Donald Trump. They like, man, Joe Biden got to be the answer. And plus he got a so-called black vice president, right? Kamala Harris, who we ain't seen or heard from since.
Right.
Disappeared, brother. So-called.
And old Sleepy Joe. Now the Democrats, they don't even want him as the nominee
Come on, that's
for the
right.
next election.
Wow.
But that's crazy. They abandoned this dude because he's clearly
Oh, too old.
he's too old.
Yeah.
Just keep it 100.
See now.
Keep it 100.
Yeah.
You know, white people don't age like black people.
No,
Right,
sir.
no.
No, sir.
Not even.
This is the facts.
This man's in his 70s, right? He in his late 70s.
Show the minister.
Come on, come on.
This one about to be 90.
Go ahead, go
And I mean, he's just as sharp as he can be, right?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
goodness gracious. Last service they spoke for 5 hours, right?
That's right.
5 hours straight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, understanding, you know, a 90-year-old, I mean, when the minister was 70, man, shoot.
Whew.
Man, in his 60s, he was bench pressing 400 pounds.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But We just don't age the same, right?
No, sir.
And plus, this one is the Messiah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, different leadership, man. But this Joe Biden, they don't even want him anymore. So they're thinking about who they were going to replace him with, and they're looking at the governor of California, Gavin Newsom. But my point is, America's done.
That's it.
This government is done. You don't have no hope in the politics of this world.
No, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See, what black people have to do
Have to do.
is do something for ourselves.
That's right.
We got to separate and create our own nation. That's what this is about. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what it's about.
Because there's no hope in this one. Man, you want one 70-something-year-old white man or another 70-something-year-old white man?
Racist.
Both these crackers was born in the 40s.
178.
It's only in this nation, man. Only going
Both these crackers was raised on Leave It to Beaver and Ozzie and Harriet.
Talk about it, brother. Racist as
Separate
hell.
the water fountains and all that. That's what they know.
That's what
they love. That's what make America great again mean.
Yeah, that's all.
Dixie crack Joe Biden.
Right. And Dixie Crack Joe Biden was actually worse than Trump in the 70s.
Exactly.
But we forget about that, right?
Lawyer.
Come on. Yes, sir.
So you don't have no choice.
No.
Allah is clearing the deck
Go ahead.
All right,
brothers.
to where it's not about the politics of this world, man. It's about establishing a whole new world.
Facts.
This is your only choice.
Yes, sir.
This one right here.
Yes, sir. Yes,
The
sir.
leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
That's right.
The teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is what will absolutely save us.
Facts.
Now let me show you what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote in another one of his historic books. Message to the Black Man in America. On page 100.
That's the Bible right there.
Now that one was published in 1965. And look at what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is telling us. Do not take what I am teaching and writing lightly. It is the truth from your God, and you shall soon bear me witness that it is the truth. Allah has said to me that we are living in the end of the world of white rule. A race whom Allah has made manifest to you and me as being real devils.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Manifest. That's a powerful word.
1965. So he's made it manifest. Like, now you can see it. Like Brother Asher said, man, this ain't no hate teaching.
No, sir.
This is real teaching.
This is real.
They're the real devils. Now, what's the devil? See, you gotta demystify the terms.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A devil, by definition, is one who creates mischief and causes the shedding of blood.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna say it again so we can be clear. One who creates mischief and causes the shedding of blood. Question: do white people create mischief?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You see it at the top?
Right.
We're victims of it.
Right, look. Do white people shed blood?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, brother.
You gotta do
Blood
with a
shedder,
rifle.
bro.
You gotta do with a rifle right there.
Man.
Right there on the bottom where the yellow.
Oh.
You got a rifle.
Yeah, man.
That's all they do.
Carry it.
Y'all cool. Y'all cool in
This is where we at, man.
That's treason. That's treason. That's treason.
It is treason.
It's treason. Sedition.
All of that. But see, that only counts, brother, if it was you and I.
Facts. Talk about it, brother.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right about that.
Tell the truth.
That only counts if it's you and I.
That's
If it's them, they're patriots, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's their country. That's how they look at it.
Their privilege patriot.
You see what I'm saying?
Their
That means you
constitution.
get shot.
Yeah, man. Yo, if there was black people down there, man, it would have been a war zone, man.
Facts.
Yeah.
Then a bloodbath.
Facts.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this car carries everything.
But see, the thing is, like, what they're not saying But what they are saying, but what they're not saying, but what they are saying is that it wasn't just your everyday citizens, man. These were Congress people who were leading
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
a lot of these so-called insurrections.
Yes, sir.
They opened the door.
Yeah, man. They were getting this from state houses all over the country.
Yes, sir.
They just gonna show up?
Oh, yeah.
Nah, man, that was orchestrated.
Orchestrated. Yes, sir. Planned and organized.
In the article, there's a brother who writes a piece. He's an intelligence officer in Washington, D.C. And he was like, there's no way that they didn't have intelligence on the Proud Boys and these other white racist organizations that showed up.
Got a cell phone.
And they allowed them to come. Absolutely unraveling. Now, America is unraveling, right? Because of carnage and confusion. But what we have to be careful of, family, is what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan warned us of, is that we, this great nation of Islam that you and I are all a part of, does not unravel with America.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Right?
That's right.
So in the scripture, we are told to come out of her, my people, and be not partakers of her sins, for her sins have reached unto heaven.
Yes, sir.
So we have to come out of all of the ways that we have been taught by our open enemies.
Facts.
That's right.
They are open.
Come out of their ways and join on to your own. We have to, instead of abandoning the principles that we were founded upon, we have to build upon the principles that we were founded upon. Our foundation, Nation of Islam, is the fact that God came and chose us.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
Yes, sir.
He came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad. And he raised the eternal leader of the Nation of Islam, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
That's right.
And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is absolutely the Messiah.
Yes, sir.
Think that over now.
Yes, sir.
And again, we want to demystify terms. I don't want y'all to get spooky.
Go ahead, brother. Make it plain.
I do not want you to get spooky. I want you to understand exactly what we're saying about, because, you know, a lot of people, we think these terms belong to somebody else. And the one that we think they belong to, we don't even know that person. I just gotta say that, man. We think that the Messiah, see if I can find this definition, because I want us to be right and exact. We think that the Messiah came amongst us 2,000 years ago. When, and I say this all the time, I wasn't here 2,000 years ago. You weren't either.
Yes, sir.
And everything that white people ever taught us, in my experience, has been a lie. So what makes you think that they would teach you right about God?
That's right.
What would make you think that they would teach you in truth who the real Messiah is? When they show us some white boy floating with a hole in his side and a hole in his hands, just looking pitiful, and they say that's the Messiah.
I ain't never met that way, bro.
And don't want to meet him. But listen, we're saying that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the Messiah, right?
Yes, sir.
By definition, Messiah comes from the Hebrew Mashiach, which means the anointed one. The Hebrew scriptures, it would be one who is both a priest and a king. I want you to think that over.
He's a spiritual man and a
Oh man,
That's
I
powerful.
want you to think that over. But this part right here though, anointed.
Man, who anointed him? You know?
See, can't nobody do what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan do. You know how I know that? They would have done it already.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's right.
Most Elijah Muhammad said the same.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says so much about the minister. He told him that he was anointed.
He was a star.
He told him, he said, brother, I didn't make you. This is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad talking to Minister Farrakhan.
No, dear Apostle, you did.
And the minister said, yes, you did, dear
You did
Apostle.
make me, dear Apostle.
I love you. Yes, you did. He said, no, brother, I didn't make you. He said, yes, you did, dear old brother, who's the teacher. I didn't make you. I gave you everything that I gave my other ministers.
Only Elijah.
But no one has been able to put the teachings in a way that you have been able to put them in. And I would add to that, no one has been able to do what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has been able to do.
Facts. Come on. Yeah. It's the
He
truth.
said, no, brother, I didn't make you. Allah made you for me.
Yes, sir.
Which is exactly what this means. He is anointed. You can appoint somebody to any position. But when one is anointed, man, you don't have to give them permission to do it. They just gonna be that. So when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad left, there was nobody to honor and remember his name until the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan stood up.
Facts.
And he asked all of the messengers, ministers who were with him before to help him, and none of them would. So at the beginning of this dispensation or this new nation of Islam, it was Minister Farrakhan along with one or two other brothers.
Yes, sir. Facts, man.
And from that, man, the nation is back.
Back. Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah.
Because he is anointed. He is the Messiah.
That's right.
In our midst, yes, sir.
See, if God is black, and he is.
Yes, absolutely.
That's right.
His messenger is black, his Christ is black, his Messiah is black.
Yes, the people's black.
Because we are that people who are the rejected and the despised that he said that he would choose.
Yes, sir.
It's black people. It's not about color, it's about what we have suffered.
What we've been through.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All praise is due to Allah.
Chosen from
So we can't allow our nation to fall because we don't remember what our foundation is. So in conclusion, in order to come out of the carnage and the confusion
the Messiah.
and not unravel,
Yes, sir.
we have to be clear on who the guide is and what is the guidance.
Cool.
See, the guidance is the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Yes,
If you want to know exactly what's going on today, just follow the teachings of the honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Up to date.
But if you need a man to look to, oh man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
If you
sir.
need a man to look to,
Tried and tested.
then the guide in this hour,
66.
oh man,
Come on.
who's been doing it,
Yes, sir. Come
who's
on.
been unstoppable,
Go ahead.
is the
Right there.
honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. All praise to Allah. All praise to Allah.
Just say, look at
With that family,
Just look at it.
I'm going to leave you as I greeted you in peace, and thank you for coming out, and thank you for being so attentive. I'm going to leave you as I greeted you in peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Wow.
Praise Allah. All right. Man, it's so good to be amongst the family, man. And I always say this, and I want you all to know that I mean this from the depth of my heart, man. Whenever I see you brothers, man, it just lifts my spirit, man.
Praise
Me
be to
too,
Allah.
brother. Yes, sir.
It's your brother Herman Supreme Style Muhammad. Just wanted to drop in and let you know what we have going on. In addition to our community work that we've been doing for years, and in addition to being the sole proprietor of Supreme Style Barbershop, where we've been serving the community for close to 25 years, now we've partnered up with an insurance company called Ethos in an effort to help our people with life insurance. That's something that we all need. I know it's something that we don't want to think about, but it is something that we all need if we want to leave anything to our loved ones when we leave this space. So do me a favor, click on the link or go to our website astar2.com and click on the ethos page. We'll see you on the other side.
I'm a DJ in your town, looking for direction, matter of fact the produce section. Can I get more? On the way to school, walking by the prison door, plus 2 liquor stores and a dog park. Talk about an eyesore when the post park. Have you ever seen a collard green when it grow up? Now show up.